I'll show y'all the only way that I've got to get around from one place to another, because I can't put any weight on this foot at all. So I have to kind of sidewind with that right foot, which looks and feels ridiculous. And it's a fall hazard, so I have to have something to kind of brace on, but that's how I get from one place to the other. And I've got my shirt off and the arm brace off for a reason. I wanted to show y'all the arm a little bit. You can see that line of staples right there, or used to be staples. It's where they put a lot of the hardware in my arm at. And then there's another line on the back of that elbow, which I hope y'all can see. But you can see all that bruising right there now that the swelling's starting to go down. Excuse me. But just as a testament to the doctors and the surgeons and the hardware that they used, this elbow is actually crushed. The head of this humerus is in about 7 or 8 pieces where it touches the elbow, and then my ulna is also broken. And yet somehow, that's my range of motion, but I can do that. That's absolutely freaking amazing to me that they were able to fix it that well, and as time goes, it's going to get better. They're saying I might not get complete, full range of motion in this arm back ever again, like it may not straighten all the way out, but hopefully it will. I'm certainly going to work at it that way. Now, as far as the only real medical update that I have, my knee will bend further than it has, so I'm making tiny little steps forward with my exercises and stuff. But 2 days ago, I was supposed to go back and have a follow-up with the trauma surgeon. And I had to miss that appointment because for the 2 days prior, I had some pretty severe calf pain, which is odd because my calf was uninjured in the wreck. So I made a few phone calls, and they sent me to an imaging center to have it ultrasounded, because their fear was blood clots. It's probably not blood clots, it's probably just some stiffness or nerve pain or something, but let's just rule blood clots out. So I get down there, and sure enough, I've got blood clots from my hamstring all the way down to my calf. So, point of fact, it hurts to even sit with my hamstring sitting on the edge of this cushion, just to have the pressure on that blood clot. So, I hope y'all appreciate the effort that I'm making. I'm showing my man boobs off and everything. I can still exercise the knee some and the leg. I just have to be really careful, and now they've got me on Eliquis, which is a blood thinner, hoping to break up those clots. I've been taking that stuff for 2.5 days now, and I'm still having a lot of pain where those clots are. So they're obviously not dissolved yet, but hopefully. And they say I'm going to be on this stuff for 3 to 6 months, just depending on how well this knee rehabs. Because the longer I can't really move that a whole lot, the longer I'm going to have to be on blood thinners. Excuse me. I kind of wanted to do more than just a medical update, so I'll tell you all about one of the dudes that I met while I was in rehab. Which is odd, because this rehab place and the hospital are a little over an hour from me. Well, I met a guy in rehab that lives 5 minutes from me. It's from my same hometown. He was on his way to work on an old Honda Cruiser, I think 3 days after my crash. And he was just about to turn in the parking lot where he works, and some idiot in a Mustang behind him didn't see that there was a motorcycle. Didn't see that the motorcycle was stopping or turning in. Never hit the brakes. He hit this guy from behind and ran him over. Ran him completely over. Besides totaling his bike, of course this guy, since he's on an old cruiser, he wasn't wearing any kind of gear at all. So he was wearing some kind of weird sleeve from the shoulder down, because road rash had taken pretty much the skin on that whole arm. And besides that, when the guy's tire ran over this arm, twisted it completely around and broke it all kind of different ways. which is sad for that guy. He was getting out of rehab the day after I got out of rehab. So I don't know what kind of shape he's in, but he's kind of like me. He was in good spirits about it all. Me and him would sit around and talk. I found his room was right down the hall from me, so when I would go out to make my regular laps when I got bored running up and down the hallways, I'd stop and talk to him, and we'd laugh and we'd cut up and we'd talk about riding and, you know, just basically being in good moods together, and it was helping both of us out as far as our outlook on things, which was absolutely awesome to find somebody that not only lived close to me, but we could follow up with each other once we get home if we want to, and get together and talk about things and that kind of stuff. But we were both in similar accidents. Speaking of accidents, if you watch the crash video and you see my bars wobble right as I'm getting into that turn, you'll notice on the road there's this weird looking little dark spot. It's hard to see. I didn't notice it at first, but since I've shared the video with a bunch of my friends and on YouTube, I've had more than one person spot that little dark spot. So we got to passing the information around, and one of the guys that I was riding with that day ended up going back to that same spot 3 weeks after the fact. And right off the edge of the road, he finds a shredded piece of tire that was about the same size and shape as what it looked like that dark spot was on the road. And clearly you can see in the video, just as I'm starting to push the bars into the turn, the bars wobble and straighten back out and send me off in the ditch. So we're 99.99% sure that just as I was starting to enter that turn and push my bars, I hit that piece of rubber, big piece of rubber, and it made my bars wobble and straighten back out, and that's what sent me off in the ditch, which on one hand, I want to kind of be pissed off because there was trash in the road, but on the other hand, I'm kind of glad to know that there was something there that caused me to wreck, and not just I ran completely out of skill and didn't turn in a curve. Because you can see from the video, we were moving along pretty good, but we were not going too fast for that corner. I mean, clearly I could have made that easily. It's just one of those things. So that's where I'm going to end this pitiful excuse for a video. I just wanted to let everybody know what was up and share a little bit of good news and a little bit of health updates and what little bit of bad news that I've got about the clots and stuff. So till then, y'all ride safe and have a good day.